What is up, guys? It's Flash back with some more charts, another video. It's Friday, June 20, about 4:05 p.m. Eastern. I want to get you guys a video here before the weekend. Also want to let you know that I do these videos, kind of a package series of these videos every day at 8 a.m. Eastern. If you guys want to become a member to the channel, you can, the membership is on YouTube. And if you just go to the YouTube channel at Flash Charts, you'll be able to join from there, or you can join right below the video if you're on YouTube. But what I want to talk through today is I have Bitcoin here with the rainbow wave indicator. The orange line is the global M2. The green line is the price of gold pushed forward by about 96 days. And then this yellow line right here is kind of just where we're at today, right? So what you see here, and what I added to this indicator, is the rate of change of the M2 and of gold. But it's the rate of change of the M2 pushed forward by about 96 days and gold pushed forward by about 96 days. And I did that because if you guys remember this from one of my previous videos, this is global M2. This is all the liquidity and cash in the system. I want to kind of be able to detect when this is going to start slowing down, right? And maybe begin the next phase, maybe the bear market phase, right? Where global liquidity starts to retract, Bitcoin maybe enters, a couple months to a year of a bear market. I just want to kind of be prepared for that and ultimately kind of just detect if Bitcoin is going to keep following M2 and maybe following gold. I want to maybe be able to see when they're slowing down or maybe when they're going to speed up. And so if I can detect and calculate the rate of change and also push this forward by about 96 days, I want to think that we'll be able to try to predict like the future prices of Bitcoin. I'm not sure if I really explained that correctly, but again, the yellow line is where we're at today. And if you kind of look back here, like these are all consolidations in the rate of change of M2 and of gold. And when they broke out, that kind of signaled, okay, Bitcoin's going to break out now. And we would have known this because we would have had this indicator pushed forward by about 96 days, right? So if we can keep this ahead of us, and if that correlation of M2 and gold continues to take shape, I want to be able to think like, hey, there's going to be a time here later this summer, this vertical line, when the rate of change has kind of slowed down. We could be expecting price action on Bitcoin to maybe stall out. And then once it goes below this red line, that's when we can expect Bitcoin to actually drop, right? So as long as those correlations kind of hold true. So I don't know. I thought this was super interesting. I'm continuing to play with it and the whole rate of change. But, this makes me think in a couple months, I think it's, again, later this summer, there's a little bit of a breakdown here in gold, in the rate of change, and in the rate of change of M2, right? So that I think we can kind of continue following these lines, and then, there may be a little stalling out here. I'm not quite sure. But I'm going to keep following this for you guys every single day, and I'll post about it usually around 8:30 a.m. Eastern. So if you guys want to subscribe, feel free to. And then, if we add in MSTR, again, just to kind of the overlay on the rainbow wave, I think we're going to hopefully continue following these correlations, right? But it's going to be interesting. We're definitely kind of deviating right now. But let's look at the price of Bitcoin. This is on the 12-hour time frame. I'm kind of seeing an ascending triangle here, guys. At the time of this video, it's about 103.4K. I think if we could continue following the price of gold, price of M2, and break out of that ascending triangle. And then when we look at Bitcoin measured in gold, again, just a massive accumulation right here, cup and handle with a massive measured move. And we really just haven't even gotten started yet. So Bitcoin's definitely broken out versus the US dollar, but it has not broken out yet versus gold. And, I think it's just kind of buying its time. But this is just kind of an image to kind of say, hey, the party hasn't even started yet. We're so early into this move. That is if Bitcoin is going to continue to outperform gold. And so that's something I am thinking about. Here's kind of just a zoomed out picture of Bitcoin's power law in play with the bubble phases and those bear market phases. I do think, the way the power law grows and the way Bitcoin grows, I think we're going to have a bubble phase, and then we're going to have a bear market, and then another bubble phase, and another bear market. I think that's just the way the network is getting adopted and it's growing. So that's what the data is pointing at to me right now. So I don't see why I wouldn't continue thinking that'll play out. And then if we put this on the regular scale, I mean, just insane price action, hard sound money, the first of its kind, and we're watching it get adopted in human civilization. So it's pretty cool, pretty fun to be able to chart it and share it with you guys. But let's keep going on. So this is MSTR measured in Bitcoin on the 12-hour. Again, it's kind of a battle of these consolidations. You have a big rounded bottom, but you also have kind of a rounded top there. And so we're kind of flagging right in the middle of it, right? So if we want MSTR to really continue shining and running, we want this to break out and to outrun Bitcoin. I do think, just looking at previous consolidations of MSTR measured in Bitcoin, I do think we could have some sort of, double bottom here and then a launch to the upside. But I'll continue tracking. We're kind of losing this bottom band here, so that's a little bit concerning. But it is kind of in a bull flag formation, so time will tell. Yep, next is MSTR with the overlays. Again, we have lost the 30-day correlation, but 60 days and 90 days at a 61-day offset, I'm hoping this snaps back. So, if Bitcoin has a little bit of a breakout move and MSTR can kind of sniff that out, we do have earnings on the horizon. The new FASB accounting rules, MSTR would likely post the biggest earnings of any company in history just due to its balance sheet. And then you have S&P 500 inclusion narrative. So, there is a scenario where I do think this can catch up really quick. So price of 824, I think at August 1, that's what this date is. It's kind of cut off on the image here, so I apologize. But I do still think that is in the cards, and it's going to take some aggressive price action. And so here we go, a little bit more zoomed in. This is on the 3-hour time frame. I tweeted this, looks like a sleeping giant, right? So this is the distance percentage away price is from the moving average. No moving average displayed on the screen, but again, this is just the pattern, the energy building up on the 3-hour. And we're starting to kind of curl our way to the upside. So I grabbed this fractal here from 2 breakouts ago, so not this run, the one before it, just to kind of show like, hey, MSTR can run super quickly, super fast. So I think the energy is there. The energy has been building up. We're just kind of waiting for this to release to hopefully the upside, right? No promises, but that's the goal. And then here's that bigger channel just kind of zoomed out, still around on the 4-hour time frame, but you have this triangle consolidation. You're within these lower bands, so this is the time I think that we would want to really start getting a move on here. We don't want to lose this trend channel. Here's MSTR measured in gold. Again, very similar look and feel. I just want to kind of compare it to other harder assets like gold rather than the US dollar. So this looks pretty good, pretty well-defined channel. MSTR measured in silver. This is the time where we want to be bouncing. So we could start to see some strength in MSTR and start outperforming silver, as silver's also been pretty strong recently. So this is the time. And then lastly, we have MSTR measured in crude oil futures. So we're actually kind of breaking this trend line on crude oil futures. So we'll see. We'll see if that maybe is a fake out, or if that could be an early warning signal for, hey, at least oil is starting to look stronger. So we'll see if that affects MSTR. And then last but not least, guys, again, just wanted to keep you guys updated. I still think this is a valid parabola, exponential, trend line channels, and then you have your prices of Bitcoin here correlate with these prices here on MSTR. So I know it's been frustrating. I know it's been slow moving. But again, I think there is energy building up. I think this is worth zooming out. I think Bitcoin's going to start its run pretty soon. Even since November, if we go back, let's go to a Bitcoin chart here. Bear with me one second, guys. So even since November, when we had our massive run, yeah, so even since like November here on Bitcoin's chart, sorry, one more thing. We've just really just gone sideways from November through June, right? So it really has just been sideways. Yes, it went down, and you had the whole tariff thing, and now we're moving back up. But if you think about it, we've just gone sideways, and we've been patient, right? So you kind of think of this as one big consolidation. And then when you throw MSTR back on the chart here in the pink line, right? We've just gone sideways for so long. So this is one big sideways consolidation. The energy is going to go one way or the other, I think. Like, I don't think we just continue going sideways forever. So I do think we're going to make our way to the upside soon. But drop me a like, guys, if you found this helpful. Head over to the YouTube channel if you guys want to become a member. I'll do this every day for you. And then everyone have a great weekend, and I'll see you guys next week. Take care.